Hi, today we'll make a basic white bread. I'm not a baker, but I think this bread is very good and enough soft for sandwiches or toast, etc. As always, all the ingredients and the quantities are at the end and in the description. Let's start by putting in our stand mixer bowl the 500 grams of all-purpose flour and add about 10 grams of salt and 25 grams of sugar. We bury them before adding the 7.5 grams of yeast because we don't want to mix them directly. It will slow down the yeast effect. The yeast added, we mix all together. And now we add 300 milliliters of warm water. On the slowest speed, we mix the dry ingredient with the water until we have a quite homogeneous dough. That takes about 3 minutes. After that, we can put the stand mixer to the second speed position, and we knead our dough for about 6 minutes. Naturally, you can knead by hand, but it's a lot of work, and if we often make bread, we want to minimize the effort. So, now we must let the dough rising until it doubles in size. You can cover your bowl with wet cloth, but me, I open the lid of my oven and I put the dough in it with another bowl filled with hot water. With this humidity, no crust will form on the dough. During this time, I hold my mold. I use grapeseed oil because it's tasteless. I let my dough rising 40 minutes. When it's doubled in size, we have to degas or punch down the dough. Now, we will put our dough in their cooking mold in order to rise it for a second and last time. We try to form a beautiful ball. We can hide all the junction in the square below. We put our dough for the last time in our oven and let it rise until it rises enough and got the size that you want. That takes to me about 40 minutes. That can vary also according to your yeast, the temperature, the flour, etc. When the dough is enough risen, we preheat our oven at 350 Fahrenheit or 180 Celsius degrees. When the temperature is okay, we cook our bread 42 to 45 minutes. Above all, it should not be underbaked because the middle of the bread will remain raw and will not be edible. You can also put butter in this bread. It's exactly the same recipe, the same step, but we add 30 grams or more of butter in it when we start to knead the dough. The cooking time do not change either. The only difference will be noticed during kneading. The dough will be more sticky in the bottom of the bowl. You can add flour in your hand during the manipulations if you don't want the dough stick too much to your fingers. The butter is supposed to make the dough softer. Like the salt gives a flavor, the sugar is used to toast easily the slice of bread and so on. Those breads have the qualities and the flaws of a homemade bread. They smell and taste good, but their freshness doesn't last long. Thanks et à la prochaine.